The rich history of the parish from the beginning is in fact the story of the community of St. Joseph. The community today certainly draws its strength from the community of yesteryears. The present-day community cannot be authentic if it has no history and tradition from which it has come to be. Therefore, know the story is to know the community. The story of the parish presented within the wider story of the world, and then Malaya in the context of the historical past. The British government made Klang the administrative capital of the state of Selangor in 1874. Port Klang was the gateway to Malaya, and the economic growth in Klang district was booming. During this time, the Chinese who came to Malaya worked in the tin mines, and the economy was flourishing in Kuala Lumpur. The Klang and Gombak rivers were the source of the Ewell tin binding business to flourish. The confluence of these two rivers made Mud Bar, and thus Kuala Lumpur was named after these physical features. Kuala Lumpur by this time had become a thriving commercial center. So a directive dated May 1880 from Singapore, which decreed that the administrative capital of the state of Selangor be shifted to Kuala Lumpur. Thus, the political change saw an influx of English-speaking Catholics in Kuala Lumpur. The Catholics then had no place to worship. In 1883, Bishop Edward Gasnier, Bishop of the Vicariate of Malaya, sent Father Hector Letessier, a linguist, to Kuala Lumpur to set up the Catholic mission. On 25 July 1885, the Sultan of Selangor, His Highness Sultan Abdul Samad Ibn Almarhum Raja Abdullah, gave the land as a gift to the Roman Catholic community of Selangor. Right Reverend Dr. Edward Gasnier, Bishop of Ukapia, and Father Hector Charles Letessier were named as grantees on the original land document. As Kuala Lumpur developed, a great number of English-speaking Catholics settled in the growing town of Kuala Lumpur. Thus, it gradually became difficult for St. John's Church to focus on the spiritual needs of the faithful. It was at this time, in 1902, it was decided that St. John's Church focus mainly on the English-speaking Catholics. Then, two other churches were built in central Kuala Lumpur to cater for the pastoral needs of the Chinese-speaking and the Tamil-speaking Catholics. In 1903, Holy Rosary Church was built in brickfields near the Central Railway Station, catered for the pastoral care of the Chinese-speaking Catholics in Kuala Lumpur, Ampang, and other surrounding areas in the state of Selangor. Subsequently, a church was built to cater for the Tamil-speaking Catholics. The history of St. Joseph Church in Sentul is made up of events that shaped its growth as a church. The primary event that shaped Sentul was the construction of the Central Railway Workshop in 1903 by the Federated Malay States FMS Railways. The British government approved the Central Railway Workshop to be built in Sentul because of its strategic location. It is about 4.83 kilometers from the Central Railway Station, Kuala Lumpur. The Central Railway Workshop was to repair, maintain locomotives and build carriages. Father Victor Renard, through his wisdom and far-sightedness, acquired a parcel of land for a chapel and school in Sentul Pasar. In 1906, a small chapel with a 3-foot semi-wooden brick wall with Chinese roof tiles was built. The chapel was dedicated to St. Anne in July 1906 because Indians had deeper devotion to St. Anne. Due to the unavailability of missionaries, Eucharistic celebration was held whenever a priest was available. It is reported that celebration of other sacraments were held in St. John's Church. As the Catholic population increased in Sentul, Father Victor Renard and Father Louis Duvel observed that the vast majority of them were workers from the FMS Railway Central Workshop. This led Father Victor Renard to rededicate the Chapel of St. Anne to St. Joseph. Thus, St. Joseph's Chapel took root in Sentul on 15 November 1908 as a symbol of dignity to the workers in Sentul.